I'm not sure this tea will suit your taste. Noah sipped his drink from his steaming cup, casting a wary glance at Fenric as if gauging his reaction. You visited me so suddenly that I didn't have time to prepare anything special. I hope you can forgive me. I'm not someone who particularly enjoys tea, so I don't know much about its flavor. Should I have offered him alcohol instead? Noah's facial expression was slightly tense with worry. But one thing is certain, your tea is the best I have ever had. With my standards raised like this, I won't be able to drink tea anywhere else. Oh, I'm glad you like it. Only then did Noah's tense face relax. In truth, Noah was not the type to excessively flatter others or willingly bow his head, especially in front of other nobles. It wasn't long before he ran into Atari and Presepe in the garden, and his icy demeanor didn't change even in the prince's presence. Of course, it helped that Atari was a prince of no great importance. In fact, Noah was a model of an unscrupulous nobleman. He was accustomed to looking down on his inferiors, and using power and wealth as tools for amusement was among his favorite hobbies. However, he found himself walking on eggshells around Fenric. It is a great honor for you to come and visit me. I have heard a lot about you, our Grand Duke. I'm curious about what I heard. Stories about me are rarely interesting. Oh, I didn't mean it that way, it doesn't matter. Just because rumors are unpleasant doesn't mean they're not true. So, what stories have you heard? Pardon? A murderer swings his sword indiscriminately at men, women, and children? Or a madman who beheads nobles and kings alike without hesitation? This was because Noah was afraid of the man known as Fenric. Well, when you think about it, they're basically the same. I wasn't trying to say anything like that, Grand Duke. Noah stammered, beads of cold sweat forming on his forehead. I have only heard good things. Your combat skills are so extraordinary that His Majesty the Emperor has great confidence in you. This wasn't a lie. In fact, Fenric was one of Dietrich's closest allies. He played a crucial role in securing Dietrich's claim to the throne. Extraordinary combat skills. That makes sense. Fenric smiled, his lips curling as he spoke. After all, this is not the kind of thing a beggar from the streets could achieve unless he was exceptionally skilled, surpassing the nobility and obtaining the title of Grand Duke. Don't you agree? Well, I just meant, your abilities must be really outstanding. Fenric didn't reply, just stared at Noah with a sarcastic look. The intensity of his crimson eyes sent a shiver up Noah's spine, making him want to flee from his seat. But he restrained himself with great effort. As you know, my visit here was to inquire about what happened on the day Prince Adder died. Yes, feel free to ask. At this point, the best option was to answer the questions quickly and end the conversation. Noah put on the most beautiful expression he could muster and looked at Fenric. I heard that while you were greeting Lady Psyche, Prince Atari interrupted you and ordered you to leave. Yes, I informed His Majesty of this on the day of the banquet. After all, you were one of the last people to see Prince Adder alive. Noah continued speaking hurriedly, as if trying to clarify himself. But that's all. I went back to the ballroom right after that, so I don't know what happened next. If anyone knows, it's Mrs. Of course I have already said the same thing to His Majesty. Fenric stared coldly at Noah, who was now using Presepe as a shield. I already know that. I came here hoping to hear more details. Ah, I see. I understand. There doesn't seem to be much to hear anymore. You pretend you don't know anything else. I'm afraid that is the case. Noah spoke with a cautious apologetic expression. But, there was something a little strange. I don't know if I should mention it, but... Something strange? It seemed as if Prince Atari and Ms. I can't say for sure, but there seems to be something between them. Things between men and women are only known by those involved, so all I can do is speculate. So what you're saying is that Lady Presepe is connected to Prince Atari's death? Noah, who had been talking non-stop, belatedly realized that Fenric's crimson eyes were now even more blazing and menacing than before. No. No, not at all. I was just remembering what happened. Well, it must have been the killer who did it. I'm really relieved that miss. The disgusting bastard. Fenric barely managed to restrain the curses that threatened to spill from his lips. He forced his stiff expression to relax and opened his mouth. Our official business is over. Your earnest answers have been of great help. Well, that's a relief, but I heard that you have a great passion for collecting things. Pardon? They told me that you display all kinds of rare stuffed animals and art objects in your home. Fenric's gaze briefly headed out of the corridor. I have recently developed an interest in this field as well. I was looking for a like-minded companion who has an eye for beauty. Companion, you say? Just as it seems. As you know, I don't deal with any other nobles. What he said was true. Even after receiving the title of Grand Duke, Fenric refrained from participating in social circles or forming relationships with other nobles. But after hearing about your hobbies, it seems we might get along very well. This was a golden opportunity for Noah. The Davern family has been loyal to the imperial family for a long time. When Dietrich took the throne by killing the second prince, the previous heir, the family was put in danger. But Noah, now the head of the family, was neither loyal enough to protect Dietrich's brother nor brave enough to intervene in the turmoil. Thanks to this, his family survived. However, having done nothing to help Dietrich ascend, the Dufferns no longer enjoyed the power they once had. This greatly upset Noah. If he could form a relationship with Fenric, one of the Emperor's closest confidants. I was hurting that I had no friends to share this hobby with. It was very boring. Noah's lips curved into a soft arc. But now that you extended your hand first, I'm truly grateful. Fenric replied with a smile. It was an evil and annoying smile, but in his excitement, Noah failed to notice it. Since you are already here, would you like me to show you my treasures? Noah jumped out of his seat eagerly. I have everything, masterpieces, stuffed animals, jewels. But the rarest and most beautiful of all are my stuffed animals. Even without the explanation, Fenric already knew. He was keenly aware of Noah Duffern's twisted obsession with collecting. I like pretty things, Presepe. Beautiful things. Yes, like you. Whenever I see something beautiful like you, I feel strong emotions, and in Noah's way, he also knew how this obsession had led to Presepe's destruction. Noah imprisoned her, played with her for a while, soon got bored, and moved on to a new game. He deprived her of even food, leaving her with nothing but a husk of skin and bones. In the end, exhausted by loneliness, pain and hunger, Presepe hanged herself among his stuffed animals. That was the end of Noah's road. Since you're so kind, I guess I should take a look. Fenric slowly got up from his seat and began walking with Noah down the dim corridor. I'm sure you'll find something to your liking. There's a lot to see. If anything catches your attention, let me know. I'd like to give it to you as a token of our new friendship. You are so generous. In the shadowed hallway, Fenric's lips curved into a crooked smile. I appreciate it. Sorry. But with such a wonderful collection, I imagine you will have many visitors. Oh, not at all. I have some noble acquaintances, but I never allow them to visit me here. They lack the good taste of someone like you, Grand Duke Fenric. So you're always alone here? I have maids, but they arrive late in the morning and leave in the afternoon. I'm afraid they'll mess with my precious collection. Besides, I've given my employees a vacation starting the day after tomorrow, so I'll be alone for a few days starting tomorrow afternoon. And your family? I have no siblings. My parents have always resided in the northern region. I don't understand why they would attract attention to this barren place. So what you're saying is that even if something happened to you, no one would notice right away. Pardon? At least not before tomorrow morning.